In this video, I will be talking about some helpful information for anyone attending Forbidden Kingdom 2023, Insomniacs' premier bass and dubstep music festival. Hey everyone, I just wanted to pop on here real quick and let you know that I just received my Forbidden Kingdom tickets in the mailbox today, and I wanted to come on here and do a little unboxing with you guys. I already went ahead and opened this, so we're going to... Oop. Alright, so not much inside the box, or inside the package that came. It's just the wristband and this wristband information card. So this is what the GA wristband for Forbidden Kingdom this year looks like. It's nice. It's got the designs for like the dragons that they showed on their promotional ads on it. On the end it says Forbidden Kingdom 23, and it's got the Insomniac logo here on the end as well. Yeah, I can't wait to put this on. This music festival takes place June 9th and 10th at the Orlando Amphitheater in Orlando, Florida. Forbidden Kingdom made its debut in Boca Raton in February 2019. Following its second year, the pandemic happened, in which it picked back up in 2021. In 2021, Insomniac announced a partnership with the production company that was hosting Forbidden Kingdom. This allowed the company to move the festival from Boca Raton, Florida to Orlando, allowing for more stages, more DJs, and more attendees. 2023 marks the 5th anniversary of this festival, and I cannot wait to be back inside the kingdom for my second year. If you'd like to see videos of what 2021's Forbidden Kingdom looked like, their first year it moved to the Orlando Amphitheater, check out my vlogs on my channel, and I will also link them in the description of this video. During the time in which this festival takes place, it is summertime in Florida as well as hurricane season, so be prepared that it could rain. The weather changes quite frequently, so you're going to need to be prepared for anything. Pay attention to the weather the week of. It is also going to be very hot. Temperatures are going to be in probably the late 80s to high 90s. I don't think I've ever really seen it get over 100. I think maybe close to 100, 98 maybe, but I've never seen it actually go over 100. The humidity is going to be your worst enemy. You are going to sweat. If you do not do good sweating, make sure you bring a fan, electronic fan that can cool you down quicker, and keep up on your hydration. Some essential things that I think that would make your festival going easier, especially for Forbidden Kingdom, would be to eat a meal beforehand. This will not only help you have something in your stomach before you get there, so you're feeling good enough to keep on dancing and headbanging, but it will also save you on some cost from eating food while you're in there, because you know those food can be kind of costly each day. So just make sure you set yourself up for success, and so that way you're not, the first one to fall out. Electrolyte drinks, liquid IV, or Rave Aid are also good things to also incorporate into your drinking and dietary habits beforehand and while you're at the festival. I typically bring liquid IVs with me in my lunchbox, and then I add them to my hydration pack, so that way while I'm dancing, I'm also still intaking more electrolytes. Sometimes I've also taken in the Mio Energy water additives, and typically you have to sneak those in. So sunscreen is another big thing. Put it on before you go, even if you're going to sweat it off. Try to bring some more. This festival typically starts at like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, the hottest parts of the freaking day. Hopefully you haven't sweated it all off, because they don't allow like aerosol cans to come inside. Can bring in regular sunscreen that you have to rub on and stuff like that, but like, who really wants to be doing that? Also, I say bring something to cover up with, whether that's a pashmina or just layers, so that way you're not getting berated by the Florida heat and the Florida sun for 4 or 5 hours until the sun finally does go down. Another thing is a anti-theft hydration pack or an anti-theft book bag, something of that standards to protect your stuff while you're there. I personally go with Lunchbox. I have a few of their hydration packs, and I most recently just bought their snack pack, which is their fanny pack line. I put all my essentials in the fanny pack, like my phone, credit card, gum, any of that stuff that I need at hand right there. And then I keep my book bag for all the bulk items that I'm going to need, like extra pashmina, an extra pair of socks or something, whatever I'm going to need throughout the night that I just don't need right now. Think of that like planning for your future self. Another thing you should definitely bring with you to any Florida festival is a poncho. Our weather is very finicky. It could rain on you. It could not. It could torrential downpour. I'll never forget wishing I had a poncho 2019 EDC Orlando, standing at main stage watching Deadmau5 in the pouring rain before I had to like just be like, I can't do this anymore, and I had to leave and go like sit in like I think I went to the Oasis and I was just like, I'm sorry, I'm wet. Help me. Another essential festival item is comfy shoes. Going with that, make sure you bring an extra pair of socks. This could be in case it rains, in case you danced some holes in your socks, your feet hurt, maybe it'll help prevent some extra blisters, but I highly recommend it, especially if it rains. The most important thing you need to bring with you when you come to any music festival, including Forbidden Kingdom, is going to be your high fidelity earplugs. Don't get the little foam squishy ones. Those ones block out the sound. You want to actually hear the wubs, the dubs, and make sure you get yourself some high fidelity ones. They lower the decibels so that way it does not damage your ears and give you tinnitus. Protect yourself. You should always be wearing earplugs at any festival. Honestly, they're not that expensive. You can go online and get some on Amazon for pretty cheap. The cheapest I've bought in some that I felt were good quality was probably about $10, $12. You don't have to go spend $40, $50 on eargasms or loops to, protect your ears. So just try out a couple products online and see which ones work for you. Everyone's different. Just know that there are stuff out there. For this festival, I believe I went through metal detectors going in that first year, and there was also a pat down, typical pat down. Honestly, other than that, it really wasn't that bad. Security was pretty lax with some stuff, but I didn't have any issues either day getting in. I was maybe in line for 20-30 minutes. The lines can definitely get pretty long. Just be aware of that. Depending on what time you're going to get there, you might get there and the lines might be super long. It just really depends. There is parking on site at this festival. I just want to stress that, if you're coming in, there is two entrances. You can either come into the front one off of West Colonial Drive, or you can come in off this side one that brings you through the backside of the field area. Just make sure when you're parking that you're parked inside the fenced in area, because that is the monitored sides where they actually tell you to park. I know that there are some neighboring areas around that will try to tell you that you can park there for this X money. Be cautious of that stuff. I've heard of people having their cars broken into at some of these places. Parking here was on site at the amphitheater was $25 per day. So just account for that's probably what they're going to charge you for parking if you show up in more than one vehicle, or if you're not doing ride shares or lifts and stuff like that to get dropped off. If you are doing ride shares or to get there, make sure that you follow I believe they have traffic lanes for you to go. Once you pull in, that you'll be directed where to go to be dropped off and picked up at. I remember the first day leaving in 2021, it took me an hour to get out, but honestly I was in no rush. I wasn't doing after, so I just waited. If you are wanting to not get stuck in traffic, leave a little earlier than when the festival ends, because as soon as everyone comes out and they're trying to leave, you're going to be stuck. Like I said, this takes place at the amphitheater in Orlando. For the most part, there's paved ground in certain spots. There's staircases. It's a decent walk area. There's no trees or tree roots or anything I've noticed like that, up around on the ground that's going to cause any real tripping. I would say the main thing I would be worried about is people tripping going up and down the staircase to the Siberian stage. The main stage is usually off right when you walk in, off to the right hand side. That might be different going into this year. It's pretty easy to get around this festival. I didn't really have any issues with that when I went in 2021. The map looked exactly like it was supposed to. Make sure you know where your water refill stations are at. as well as the med tents. It's always good to know where these things are at in case you're out of water, you need to get someone water, if you need to get someone help. That way you're not panicking yourself and causing more panic. Due to recent events at Okeechobee Fest, I did want to stress that there is a lake on site. It is not active for swimming. There should be no reason why anyone should be in this water, but just in case, like, keep an eye on your friends. I know there's not a huge barrier to keep people out of this, and I hope that something will be kind of put into place to prevent people from going over towards that area. But I did know that, like, when I went in 2021, off to the side that brings you up to the left side of the Siberian stage was like all VIP area that was like right by the water. I saw people sitting out by the water. So just like, be safe, be smart, keep an eye on your friends, keep an eye on your community. We don't need anyone else drowning. Definitely check out all the food vendors. There's quite a variety of things to eat here, and definitely expect to pay around festival prices. Typically go for whatever is going to give me the most bang for my buck. If I am drinking alcohol, I'm typically getting beers. I don't spend the money on the hard liquor because, one, I don't feel it's worth it. But yeah, you do you. Just know you're going to pay quite a bit of money for some of those things depending on what you're getting. Also, check out all the merch. They have a huge merch area with vendors, different crafts and stuff that you can do. So just make sure you check out the merch and vendors village. There are definitely photo op moments around the festival grounds for you. There is a giant dragon that you can take pictures with. There's dragon eggs. There's the different art cars, the entertainers that are walking around on stilts. There's just all different types of stuff to keep you entertained and really immerse you into the kingdom that is Forbidden. Definitely make sure you take time, get out of the sun. I know last year they were talking about there wasn't enough shaded structures for the grounds, and the production company this year has already stated online on their socials that they have been working to improve that. So we'll see how that is done this year, and I will have vlogs up when I do go to Forbidden Kingdom this year. So make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you get notified when my videos go live on my channel next month. It can get aggressive. There are mosh pits. I would recommend, if you're not into mosh pits or any of that stuff, to just kind of stay on the more outside skirts of the crowds. But also be aware that mosh pits can open up anywhere. You don't know how drunk or on what substances people are going to be on and how rowdy they're going to be. So it's always best to just keep your eyes open and be aware of your surroundings at all times. So when Forbidden Kingdom debuted in 2019, it only had one stage when this festival took place that year. As of the last year, it has now progressed to 4 stages. The Mystic stage. This is the newest stage. It was added during the last year's edition of Forbidden Kingdom. From what I've seen of videos and pictures, this stage was covered and did seem to fill out pretty well for the day. So I'm interested to see like what the stage has to offer going into this year. The Siberian stage. This is the stage that is in the actual amphitheater of the grounds. It has an elevated platform towards the backhand side that allows for seating. It's usually got really great visuals, really big screens, really nice lasers. Definitely check it out. Your mind will be blown away with the visuals. Like I loved it. I loved seeing what they did with it last year. The Village stage. When I went in 2021, this was a stage for like local artists and up and coming bass artists. It was definitely a smaller stage, but definitely did bring a lot of energy. It was a very interesting design. It was more off towards like the water, like lake area, and off to the side of like where the art car was that was also playing music. But it was kind of like a cave, and almost made me feel like this is like where the dragons go to like nest. It was very interesting. The Forbidden stage. Welcome to the main stage. This stage has had a few redesigns in the recent years, and it is making me wonder what this year's will actually look like. This stage is typically the first stage that you come to when you first come into the festival. At least it was like that when I came there in 2021. So I'm interested to see once the map drops, like where things are going to be at. I know the Siberian stage is not going to move. Like it's usually in the amphitheater. So we'll see. Hoping that you all are enjoying this video. Please give it a like and subscribe if you have not already. Don't forget to hit that bell notification and be notified when new videos go live on my channels, especially my vlogs for Forbidden Kingdom, which will be up shortly after that weekend is finished.